Yeah, it was great. It was, I think it was sort of all we dreamt of and probably more. I think, you know, going into the week, we hoped that we had a few decent chances, and Inver Park obviously winning the Buckingham Palace was a great day. You know, our first Royal Ascot winner, and a horse who obviously was bought by Sam Haggas, so that was it was the first sort of big winner that we brought together on the big stage, and he was great. And then obviously Mr. Cut did the business on the Saturday. Sam's been a great mate for a long time now, and he's a very bright guy who, you know, he's a big part of the operation, sort of behind the scenes, and whether it's sales or just talking about where we're going to run the horses. You know, he's a great person to talk to about it, and he's bought a lot of our horses. He bought my first Royal Ascot winner, and he's an influential part of the team. Cachet's good. She's basically had 4 Group 1 races. The Nell Gwyn's obviously a trial for a Group 1, but you know, she was nearly ready to go then, and she's a classic winner, and she deserves a bit of a break, so she's going to have a bit of downtime now, and I'd imagine she'll be busy through the sort of early autumn. And she peaked last year in November at the Breeders' Cup, and it's been the plan sort of before the Guineas to try and end up there, so I think it's only fair on her that she has a bit of time away from the yard, and she's off to Fittock Stud to the Kimanis, and look, she'll be back in the autumn and raring to go. She could go back to Newmarket for the Sun Chariot and possibly the Foray on Arc Day, and then the Breeders' Cup. But yeah, America is the main target at the moment.
Mr. Cut is clear, 4-5 lengths clear, stretching away, and Mr. Cut wins the Golden Gates.
Mr. Cut was great, Ascot. He's a horse who's always been a good workhorse, and he's got a fantastic pedigree and a physical to match. And I thought he might do what he did, and it was nice to see him confirm it. You know, he's a top draw horse over 10 furlongs, I think, at the moment, and he's been given a mark of 108, and he'll go to Newbury for a listed race on the 16th. He's part owned by Lane's End Stud in America now, and I'd imagine at some point he'll be travelling. But I think, you know, for a 3-year-old to have achieved what he's done we only bought him in the February sale, and he's come a long way. I won't be over-facing him too soon. He's going to be a 4-year-old as well. Inver Park's come out of the race great, Ascot. He's got a few entries. It looks at the moment like he's possibly going to go to the Stewards' Cup. He's in the International at Ascot, and he's also in at Newmarket in the Bunbury Cup, but I think we'll probably go for the Stewards' Cup. He slightly proved me wrong at Ascot. I was praying for a bit of rain, and he showed a turn of foot on fast ground, and he's bi-pivotal. I haven't seen Excel Mare, which is slightly contrasting. One wants fast ground, one wants slow ground, and I've always thought he'd appreciate a bit of ease in the ground, but he was pretty impressive on fast ground. Lovely Man has been a bit of a revelation recently. I'm not really sure why. She's a filly who's started to put on weight, and I think we've run her 5 times in the last 5 or 6 weeks, and she just keeps stepping forward. She's probably going to go to, there's either a handicap at Goodwood for her or a listed race at York this week coming. Oscula's, again, she's been a bit of a revelation this year. She had a very tough 2-year-old campaign, and I slightly wondered whether we might have left her career at 2, but she bounced out of Saudi Arabia very well, and I say that she had a decent break afterwards, and her form has bounced back to where she was last year, and it was a pretty good effort behind Mr. Gosden's horse, who's obviously a very nice filly, and she had to carry a penalty, and she'll probably be kept quite busy this year. She could go to Goodwood. There's a few races for her there, and she was busy last year, and she travelled all over Europe, and to be able to back up that quickly, having travelled, I think she doesn't do a huge amount at home, and she'll be pretty busy in Europe this year. Kinta's a nice filly. She goes to Kempton on Wednesday. She won on debut, and nice to have a filly with a bit of upside. She wasn't overtrained to go and win on debut, and it was just a hands and heels ride, and I hope there's a bit of improvement to come. Heir to Heir had been off a while. He had a small setback after the time he ran at Windsor in the Racing League, and guys at home done an amazing job with him. Aled Beach, one of my apprentices, rides him every day, and he's going to go to the International at Ascot, and he's a horse who I've always held in very high regard, and it's just taken him a while to mature. He's from a late maturing family by Toronado, and I think we might see a horse who's on the upgrade now. Diamond Ranger was tough to win under a penalty at Wolverhampton the other day, and he's a horse who I think will get further. He's got an official rating of 91 after 3 starts, and he's not an overly flashy workhorse, but he's certainly turning up on the track, and I think the big handicaps, there's an Ascot handicap in July where he may well go to. Malrescia, she showed plenty of pace at Newmarket the other day, and I was thinking she was a filly that might step up to 7 furlongs, but she's actually going to go to Deauville on Sunday for a listed race over 5 furlongs. She's a very well-bred filly by acclamation, and we've already got some black type with her, and it's now trying to make her a stakes winner. Evocative Spark looked progressive and then slightly regressed at Goodwood on soft ground, and he was a good winner at Chester on decent ground, and he likes a bend, and he's possibly going to go to Newmarket this weekend, which slightly contradicts me saying that he's good round a bend, but he should go there with a good chance. Pureness ran well on debut. She's a filly who's, I'm sure, is going to get further. She was only beaten a few lengths at Newmarket over 6 furlongs. She's a sister to Muchley, who was a 10 furlong horse at 3, so she may well go to Carlisle this week for a 7 furlong novice.